So what is the new world of work? Well, for the last probably decade, I've been talking about the new world of work. And it's really a transformation that's happened not just kind of at the service level where we say, well, manufacturing's moved out of the United States and we have new competition with China and we have services competition with India. That's one aspect of it. But it is really the global, integrated, technologically enabled future that we try to resist. When you think about the language that comes out of Washington, D.C., when you hear President Obama talk about trying to bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States or bring us back to some former state, we really should be thinking about how do we move to a new state? How do we embrace these changes and take advantage of them and think about them in new ways? And so the new world of work, as an example, for instance, is about generational issues. The generation that was brought up on the internet is very different than the baby boom generation, very different than Generation X. We can put up charts and graphs and do all kinds of profiles of what these different generations look like, how many of people are in the cohort. What we don't do and what we can't really do is think about or predict. We can certainly think about it. We can't predict how they're going to interact with each other when they enter into the workplace together. And combine that with the pace of technological change. Think about the issues of the new, what I call the conglomerate organization, outsourcing, outtasking, various forms of contingent staff and temporary workers that are now not just an IT issue. It is now across the board because of the recession. Organizations have looked for efficiencies, and they've decided that outsourcing many of their non-core competencies is important. And I think that's another factor on top of the generational issues. And so we have this very, very different workplace that is consumer driven from the technology side, has multiple generations with very different perspectives, both in terms of their work ethic, their personal experiences, their technological savviness, as well as global competition. And new ways of bringing business outcomes together and delivering value to customers. And so the new world of work, and the reason we call it the new world of work boot camp is because we want people to really understand all the aspects that they're dealing with and not just keep looking backward to something that's comfortable, but to embrace the discomfort of the future and find new ways of leveraging competitive advantage and new ways of driving value for customers. People spend a lot of time talking about things that are very easy to talk about. What's happening with a project, what's happening with personnel, operational issues. But when it comes to strategic uncertainty, things kind of fall apart, because what happens is people fail to articulate both for themselves initially the things that they don't understand and the things that they can't predict and the cautions that they have about the future. But even more so, they never come to a consensus about what is uncertain about the future. And so if you can't put a name on uncertainty, if you can't articulate what it is that you're uncertain about, you can't have a valid discussion about that uncertainty. And I think it's absolutely crucial that organizations create ways, and scenario planning is one of the most important ways of doing this, ways of articulating and exploring uncertainty in a very robust and resilient fashion. The workshop is really a way to get people to lift their heads above the day-to-day work that they do and to start thinking strategically about the future again. We've spent inordinate amounts of time over the last 3 years becoming more efficient, reducing staff, reducing costs. We haven't spent a lot of time dreaming and imagining, confronting the threats, seeking new opportunities. We've been in retrenchment mode, and I think it's absolutely time now to get our heads above the day-to-day work that we think about and get off of the execution kick that everybody's in and start spending a little bit of time thinking about what we're going to do tomorrow, next month, next year. And this workshop is really a way of helping people understand what those things are that are uncertain, creating a framework for discussing the future, and then getting them to actually do that, to sit with each other in a room, talk about what they're uncertain about, and then play with those ideas. Think about ways that they will play out against different social, technological, economic, environmental, and political backdrops, and really think very, very imaginatively about what could happen tomorrow, both on the positive and the negative side. And the workshop will help you think through both the frameworks and the data that you are confronted with on a regular basis in a very, very different way. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Visit NWOWbootcamp.com today in order to sign up for one of these exciting professional development opportunities at your company. Again, NewWorldOfWorkBootcamp.com. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.